Welcome to Real Dad Bro Talk, where all the guys come to hang out. 100% real talk with Matt and company. Here we go.
All right.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
Welcome to another epic episode of RDBT. You got Matt in the house tonight. You got Nick. What's up, man? We've been away for a couple weeks, bro. So what's going on, man? How you been?
Buddy, it has been a couple weeks. I think the old sick bug caught both of us
It's
around.
still kind of whooping my ass. I'm not going to lie, man. I can't stop. I gave it to my daughter, too. I feel like a piece of shit.
My daughter started with it. As soon as she had it, I said, oh, shit. And about 24 hours later, I was sitting at work, start sneezing. I'm feeling that little itch in the back of your throat, and I was sitting there thinking, damn it.
Here we go. Yeah, Mike, remember when I was in Dallas and we did it then? I started feeling like crap then, and then it got worse. I'm pretty damn positive I still have bronchitis. And shit won't stop. I coughing constantly, and then I gave it to my 1-year-old. What a dick move that was on me, on my end. So now like she's struggling, coughing at night, and no one's sleeping. I feel like an asshole.
Father of the Year.
Doesn't go to me. I'm gonna have to. I'll take the award and I'm gonna hand it right back because I don't know what happened. I don't know how I made that happen. I always try to be super careful, no joke. But then my wife will tell you that's a lie, and I cough all over people, which I don't think I do, but maybe I do. You know, honestly. But
so let me ask you. So when we do these podcasts, we got our video up. So I see you see me. So I'm looking, and this is for Matt's wife. I don't see any lingerie. I don't see any underwear on the floor. But where are you coming? Where are you coming from this time?
Where am I? Jackson, Michigan. I'm in Michigan.
You go.
Representing Roseville. And, you know, for the Michigan people, you're all just crazy drivers as we are in Ohio. You guys are nuts on the roads. Legitimately, you switch lanes more than I've seen anybody in my entire life. And it scares the bejesus out of me. I literally saw a man see the left lane was going to end, and he didn't give a shit. So they played chicken. Him and the truck played chicken, and he damn near lost and almost lost control of it. I slowed down. I was like, well, this dude's about to flip this thing. These guys are crazy. So I only saw like 7 accidents. Nah. And I saw at least 7 accidents on the way just here. It's supposed to be an hour to get here. It took me like 2.5 hours because of all the wrecks. So y'all crazy drivers out here, man. But no, I'm in town for tonight and be back out tomorrow. So I'll be in Michigan again. I'll be in Michigan a lot more often, so you know, it is what it is, man. But yep, I am in the T-Ton. You know what T-Ton is? Do you think that viewers know what that means?
Team up north.
That's true. It's what it is.
Boom.
You know, and I'm from Columbus, right? So when I am up here talking about where I'm from, people look at me like they're gonna kill me. And I'm like, hey man, chill out. I'm all love right here. It's a good thing though, like my car, because it's not my car. It's a company car. It's a good thing it has Missouri license plates, so I don't feel as awkward. You know, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm from Missouri. But I'm not. Just helps me out a little better.
Your egg being car.
Yes,
your car
exactly.
being egged in the morning.
That's why I'm actually happy it doesn't have Ohio on it, but I think that's going to change soon, which sucks. Kind of liking the Missouri tags, but... No, man, so it's been a couple weeks. So tonight... we have all kinds of stuff. I'm going to take some advice from Mr. Chase Gilroy, man. So we talked about him before. You know, he might be back from China now. But he gave me some good advice, and, you know, we talked about it, me and you did. And, you know, he said that really what it is maybe people aren't as much as into the sports to become more of a sports show. Maybe. Maybe not. I feel like we're kind of a good blend. But we're going to change it up today. So we're going to do a Not Brought to You By. That's never going to change. So I like that bit. That's a good one. And I'm going to lay some, man, AT&T is going to hear it in this one. But then there's a newer app that I want to talk about. So maybe we'll bring a little of the tech side of into it. We're going to talk about the wives and kind of the husbands, what gross things we do that each other may like want to throw up a little bit. What your drink of the summer is, and then we will touch on the NFL, but we'll do that last. Just because we want to talk about the draft, a lot of crazy things happen, interesting things happen. So if you want to stick around and listen to that stuff, we would encourage you to do that, but we're going to kind of go through the other things first and then hit up that the draft at the end. So one thing, I want to get into, and if you have a not brought to you by, man, you are more than welcome to bring it in to the fold. I am going to bring it in for AT&T. So what do you use for your cell phones?
AT&T.
Your wireless phones, you use it?
Yep.
Me too. So I have AT&T cell phones, and my wife and myself have upgraded about in the middle of February. We upgraded to the new iPhones. Before that, we had the iPhone.
Or 8?
I call them 10s, man. I mean, I think X is a 10, so I'm saying 10. So we got those, both of us did, and we had iPhone 7 Pluses before that, got them from Best Buy, and in order to get the upgrade, you had to turn in your old phone, so you get a credit, right? And you have to get the prepaid label, you send it back, and go from there. So we got the labels, sent them in on Valentine's Day. My bill from AT&T shows up a couple days ago, and I about shit my pants. They prorated the shit out of my plan, which is the most annoying thing in the world, that they even allow that to happen. We've been in the business, right? There should be, the upgrade should be when your whatever you want to call it, your cycle is ready or whatnot. Therefore, there is no surprise. You're getting a double bill and getting completely screwed over. So not only that, I had that massive part, but then they're trying to charge me for not turning in one of my phones. I'm getting blasted with a $500 no return device fee, which is absolutely insane. Because you put them in separate envelopes, the same place. You know, you drop them off the same place. One gets to the location, the other one doesn't for whatever reason, right? But lo and behold, when you look into this stuff, they third party out their sourcing to pick up the product. So it's not the USPS. It is a company called Nugistics who picks it up, and for whatever reason, it is still in Columbus as of February 16th and never left Columbus. And it says it's at a USPS facility, but guess what? It doesn't let me know what USPS facility that is. Nor does that tracking number anything that the USPS can look up. Then if you want to try to contact Nugistics to figure out why the hell your phone is there and not where it's supposed to be, you only get two options to choose from. Option 1, do you want to talk to sales? And it's not even a real person. Option 2, call back and hang up. And they hang up. So I take another step and I call AT&T. And I'm like, here's the deal. I have all the proof. I've sent it. It's not in my possession. Take it off my plan. You guys figure it all out. I have nothing to do with the logistics side of it. Why you don't have it, you work it out. I talked to a guy, not from the United States, not trying to be mean about it, but he doesn't know anything when it comes to certain stuff, it sounded like. So he, for 58 minutes, we were on the phone of me telling him what I'm looking at, helping him try to understand how to use a computer, how to go to www.nugistics.com and look at the tracking numbers so he can see that one was returned to his warehouse at AT&T in Fort Worth, and then the other one is still in Columbus but not in my possession. To have him at the end of this 58-minute conversation do nothing, absolutely nothing to my bill. The bill is still astronomical. For him to say the best option for me to do is just to go to an AT&T store at the end of an hour-long conversation with the guy who put me on hold at least 7 times, trying to figure this out with zero success or even actually any insight whatsoever, because I found out more than he did. And
the easy cop out there.
Yeah, it was.
How many times as a authorized retailer did we get into sticky situations and just have the easy cop out? Well, you know, you might just have to go to a corporate store for this question.
It's crazy, though, man.
The easy cop out there.
It was the easy cop out. He could have done something. I felt like there could have been something. And I here's the other thing that kind of is going to suck, is I feel like he probably didn't notate it, the account. So when I go back into the AT&T store, I have a pretty good feeling that they're going to be like, what the hell is this? Or just say, it doesn't show you or talk to anybody. And he went through this entire process. And here's the other sticky thing, man. Like, I'm not paying that bill. There's no way in hell I'm paying for a $500 phone that I don't have. And here's the thing is they'll shut my shit off. And what, you know what I can't afford or what I can't do? What can you not live without with anymore?
Everyone pays their phone bill before you pay anything else. Phone and car.
Right? It's insane. So they know they got me by the balls. However, there's just, I think it's, you know, I'm calling them out right now because this is definitely, this segment of Real Dad Bro Talk is 100%. I was on the cusp of the AT&T thing anyway, and I kind of went with them because I could upgrade and got to get the iPhone 10. Because then we were talking about like the Metro PCS, maybe try and do some things where it saves your ass a lot of money and all that stuff back in the day. To where it's like I'm done with this whole thing. So the next opportunity that I have, there's no doubt in my mind I'm jumping ship. Like I saw that Sprint and T-Mobile are joining together. Did you see that?
I did.
There you go. Why not give it a go?
Now, I will say, to be fair to AT&T, this is kind of a not brought to you by AT&T / USPS. Because I don't know with you personally, but I have had nothing but issues with USPS in probably the last 2 years, to the point where if I'm ordering something online, I will pay the extra shipping to have it not delivered by USPS, whether it's UPS, it's FedEx. We have my house number is 606. We have another house around the corner that's on a different street, but is also 606. About 50% of the time,
goes there.
Our package does not arrive at our 606, or if it arrives anywhere else. I don't know how many times we've had, I'll be home during the whole day, or we have a babysitter that comes and watches my daughter all day, and package will be delivered, it says on Friday. Friday goes by, there's no package. Check the tracking. Package was attempted to be delivered and could not be delivered. What do you mean it was attempted but could not be delivered? There's somebody sitting 2 feet from my front door the entire day.
And they never knocked on the door.
So I'll give AT&T a little bit of credit. Hopefully they can fix your situation, but I would say that's an AT&T / USPS, not brought to you by.
And Nugistics. F you, Nugistics. You pay my shit. Straight up. End of story. So anyway, it's not brought to you by all that bull crap. Huh?
I've also got one
all right.
that I don't want it to get too far away. So this episode on the other half is also not brought to you by the Columbus Blue Jackets, who 100% completely sent me into depression. I'm still trying to come out of it and move on to baseball and start watching my Indians. Blue Jackets were up 2-0 in the series. First time ever having a 2-0 lead. Personally, I had tickets to Game 3. I was on a high, ready to go up 3-0. Go to the game. Awesome atmosphere. It's loud. You get T-shirts, getting a towel. We had beer the whole time. Tons of people. It's all probably 98% Blue Jacket fans. So there's not a whole bunch of Washington fans drowning us out. Double overtime game. Washington gets a kind of easy goal where it bounces off a couple people and slides past Bobrovsky, and that was the end of the series. Little did I know at that point that was it. We go on to get swept, lose 2-4, and they 100%, as a Blue Jackets fan, completely let me down. So this episode is also not brought to you by the Columbus Blue Jackets.
For the record, I didn't watch a second of it.
Sometime in the overtime.
I swear to you, I don't even know what channel it was on, man. But I swear to you, I didn't even pay attention. No, I'm not joking. If I did check it, it was on ESPN on my phone to see what the score was. Never one time did I physically turn it to the state. I never did. Not one time. So that's something that was not put on me. No KOD from me because I did not watch it. Not lying. Straight up. For real.
It was a heartbreaker.
That is a heartbreaker.
Once again,
tough to get that far.
Looking towards next year.
Yeah.
Once again. Maybe next year will be the year we can make the second round. That was the only goal I had coming into the season.
Just to get there.
I didn't care if we won the Stanley Cup. Would have been great. My only goal was make that second round. Halfway there with 2 games in, we're up 2-0. I'm already looking at what's Pittsburgh doing in their first round because we know they're going to advance, and that's who we're going to end up playing.
Yep.
We couldn't even win another game. We still have yet to even win 3 games in the first series.
That's not on me, man. Just saying.
I don't know.
So, Have you seen this? It's newer. It's a newer app. It's really cool though. Have you ever heard of it? It's called Acorns.
So I've heard a little bit about it, but I've never downloaded it or fucked around with it at all.
So Acorns it's an easier way to save money. It takes it and kind of puts it in its own little stocks and things of that nature where it's not a high risk, but there is a return on it. You can transfer it that way, or you could just make it to where it's almost just like a savings account in a way too. But it's really, really cool. So I've used this before, and you can link up multiple accounts to it. For example, if you have your bank account like a card, what it does is, let's say how many times do you use your card? Do you use your card for everything?
Daily.
Right. So most people now aren't carrying wads of cash unless you're slanging some booger sugar. But that's like
to be
the
honest,
only time.
I absolutely hate carrying cash.
Me too. It's just
But if at all possible, I've got maybe less than $5 in cash on me.
Me too. I got $0. I might have $1. Maybe. If I'm lucky, there might be $1 in there. So usually I'm using my cards too. So you link it up to this. You link your cards up to that app. And then basically what happens is if you go to the gas station and let's say you pump $24.37, right? So it rounds up and takes it to 24, and it takes that 63 cents and it puts it into that Acorns app, and it saves it for you. And then like every couple of days it'll register and it'll show you how much money you actually have in that account. So in like 1 week you could have, and it's so crazy to think of, but like in 1 week you could have like $70 in there just for how many times you use your card, if you think about it. And that's kind of the way it is. And then that just sits there and you don't see it. It's not tied to your PNC account or your Huntington account or anything like that. But it does show you how much it is. You can withdraw it without any penalties whenever you want to. There's no penalty to do that. But it is a nice way to just out of sight, out of mind, round up. I mean, how many times you can go to a store and they ask you to round up for like charity, right? You do that. Just think it's like a charity to yourself, man. Charity for yourself to save some money. That's all it is. But the reason why I bring it up is it's a newer app. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. And if people try it, you're more than welcome to try this thing. It's like I said, it's free. You can see if it helps you out, if it saves you money. If you're having a hard time with saving money, because like I have a hard time saving money too. I mean, we got 4 kids at home, and there's a lot going on. So sometimes it's like it's hard to just take that money and put it to like a savings account or a reserve account when you can have something that just does it for you without you really missing it, because it's just taking it and rounding it up. It works out pretty well, man. I would encourage people to at least give it a go, and you can cancel it anytime. Like I said, it's not gonna cost you anything. So that's my idea for a new app that people should try out and give it a shot. Do you have anything, or is yours just stupid sports ones all the time?
Buddy, mine's always somehow factored around sports. I think my biggest one was finding
the Roto one.
All the Roto world last year, trying to propel me into that next tier of fantasy god, which did not work last
year.
Not this
time. Well, maybe next year.
Maybe next year
coming up. Yeah.
So that Acorn, do you use that currently, or did you start using it? Or I'm curious how much you saved using it so far.
I've used it. I'm not currently using it, but I have used it, and it would be on average, like on the week, it could show you. So on the week, it's going to be anywhere from, for me, it was like $40 to $70, and it would literally just round it up. And then if I needed it for whatever reason, let's say you're saving the money up and you needed it for braces, for example, next thing you know, you can pull it right out. It takes like 3 days to kind of get back into your checking account. But it's kind of like, again, it's like a savings account. It's almost like that blanket where if you can do it and you can afford to do it, I would definitely give it a go. Definitely try it. You can even take that money, instead of just leaving it where it is, you can put it in some sort of investments, and you're more than welcome to do that. I am not an investment person. I have no idea how to do that. What did you do? What is that? It looks like I'm high-fiving in the air right now. You're an idiot. If anybody's looking, if anybody's listening, you can go to Facebook now. Obviously, it looks like I got to be careful what I do now when I'm recording the show, because Mr. Nick Hill's screenshotting shit. and then laughing about it and posting it on Facebook. You're an idiot.
Look like you ever do in high school? You ever had that spirit fingers thing?
I didn't. No, it wasn't high school. It was a movie. I've seen it in a movie before.
I look like you're doing the spirit fingers there.
I'm getting into the show, man.
Check our Facebook and you'll see. We got a little live picture from recording the episode tonight.
You're an idiot. Anyways, so you're married.
But that app is a good idea. Everyone can always use an extra cash laying around. I know personally I have what's called deferred comp, So I have a certain amount of money taken straight out of every check that goes into a separate account for retirement on top of my amount that's already taken out for retirement. It does the same kind of thing where it goes into stocks and all that kind of bull crap, and you can go in and manually do it, or you can click the easy way out, which I do, which says you guys figure out where the hell this money goes.
That's what I do, man. I can't. I'm not. I ain't got time to. I'm not saying people. You know, for you guys that can do it, guys and girls that can do it, kudos to you. There's just I don't have the patience to learn all that. I'm not, where to put it and things like that. But anyway,
I think the main thing is to have something. Something where you got a little extra money that you don't even notice going away because you never know when you're going to need it. Exactly. All those little surprise doors are popping up throughout the year.
Exactly, man. So you're a married man, right? I mean, still?
Yes, I am.
As far as I know, you're still married, right?
So far. As of 7:40, I was.
All right. So, when you were dating your wife, right, there's probably things that she didn't do. I'm going to assume that, initially, up front, to where she's probably maybe more comfortable now. I've been around you for quite some time, to where she can let loose and do things that she normally wouldn't do. And don't know, but is there something that she does or you do that is just like, you wouldn't have expected it in the beginning, but now that you're around each other, you're like, I guess it's just the way it is, and who she is, and let it fly and things like that. Is there something she does now where you're still though kind of like, man, I don't want to know that. I wish I wouldn't have seen that.
I think I would say there's probably two big ones. So the first one would be I like my wife and my women non-hairy. So like for example, shaving legs. Mm-hmm. I just kind of assume that women don't grow hair. So there is no shaving your legs. There are no little hairs left over in the shower. They don't grow hair. That's what's imprinted in my mind. So I think one of the first things that was kind of a moment was getting in the shower after my wife and seeing these little tiny leg hairs all over the place and thinking, where the hell did this come from? So I think I would say that's one. And the second one is, and I'm a still firm believer that women do not poop. When they eat, it just gets absorbed. They don't poop. That's a guy thing. So I think the first time when my wife pooped, maybe got busy, forgot to flush the toilet. I had a surprise waiting for me.
Oof.
I think I blacked out. I think I stood there. I flushed the toilet and said, "It must have been mine. I must have taken a Duke."
Just so you could breathe. Just so you could go to bed at night. Is that why?
Just so I could breathe easier.
I
think those are my main two that I didn't think, and I still don't think women do.
What about you? Is there anything you do that she's like, that's disgusting?
She hates when I trim my beard. I usually keep a pretty manly beard, and she hates when I do it over the sink or trim all my beard. I try and
the hair,
swipe all the hairs back in, get it down the sink, or get it in the trash can. But you're always gonna have some that you miss. She 100% hates it, and I hear about it every time because usually it's right after she cleans the bathroom, which isn't on purpose. It just times up that way, and she gets pissed.
Can't do that after she cleans the bathroom.
I would say that's probably my biggest one. Is she hates when I shave.
See, my wife hates it when I shave, but not because I leave hairs. She likes the beard, so she gets pissed when I don't have a beard. So I gotta let the gray beard rock. But
that is a lot of gray.
It's a shit ton of gray. 4 kids, y'all. When you see the picture on Facebook, that's just what happens, man.
I'm
Plus, I'm getting
currently
old.
building a house, and I think I've gotten an extra 10 or 11 gray hairs throughout this process from start to finish. So I understand.
I've tried the Just for Men for the beard. I have.
Have you?
She don't like it.
Where it's just a little, where it gives you
No,
that nice.
I thought it looked good, man. It was a nice brown. It was weird looking at
old
first.
guy.
No, it looks like yours is right now. Looks normal. But my wife doesn't like it. She likes the gray. She digs the gray. It's aged. You know what I mean?
It's cheaper.
It's like a good,
It's a good woman
whiskey.
right there.
It's like a good whiskey. It's aged. She likes it. You know what I mean? So I'm keeping the gray. But now I got the story. So it's not so much something my wife has done, but she brought it to my attention one night because we're sitting on the couch and she just hysterically loses it, like beyond laughing, looking at her phone, and I'm just like, what in the world are you laughing about? So she tells me this story, right? And the story is about a guy. You know, have you ever sat down in a toilet sometimes and either your jimmy or your balls touch the toilet bowl or the water? Not on purpose, just sometimes it happens, right? Have you ever had that happen?
Happens every once in a while.
Right, so it does happen. It's not abnormal, but it does happen. So a man commented on Facebook saying that this has happened to him before, right? A lot of people, I mean, it's happened to me, so we can all relate. It's a funny story, yada, yada, yada. Well, a lady comments and said, "That shit ain't nothing, man. You know what's really crazy is when a girl farts and her fart creeps up into her vagina, and then she has to move funny and then push the fart out of her vagina." And as she's telling me this, I looked at her. I'm laughing because she's laughing, but I'm like, has that happened to you? And she looked at me and she was like, maybe. And I was like, no, I don't ever. That's one thing that, I mean, I'm laughing hysterically too, but it's like, that's just one of those things too where you're like, that can't happen, right? Can that happen?
Well, here's my question, and I hope we have a PG-13 rated thing on this or whatnot. But so if that happens, is that characterized as a fart or a queef?
I don't think that's a queef. I think that's different.
If it goes up in there.
Yeah, but I think has to be developed from there, not because it creeped its way up in it.
But that's where it comes out. I think that's
hear
the
you.
definition of that.
I don't know. I'm going to have to default and say I'm not knowledgeable enough to answer that correctly at this time. I'll defer to the females to answer that question. I don't even know. I'll ask my wife and she'll tell me. Maybe she'll let me know. So
that is extremely disgusting. I will agree with that.
Yeah, that's pretty rough to think about. I don't know if I'd want to think about it because I think about, and that's not what I want to think about when you're.
That's not what you think about when you think about that area.
No, that's not what you think about. It's yeah. So I when she said it, I wanted to talk about it today because I thought it was kind of funny.
Yum.
But at the same time, no, not yum. I wanted to be like, I wanted to definitely, want to completely, like you said, put that out of my brain, never happen, and move on. So, one of the things though that happened to me one time, and this is true story, God's honest true story. So I was at, I was working at a job, Micro Center, right? So I was working there, and there's when you go into their the bathroom, there's urinals, there's stalls, and there was one stall that was completely separate from the others, and it was actually drywalled. It made people feel like it was like you were at home, and you're more like, and that's where a lot of people did the number two. So anyways, so that was my go-to spot for taking care of business there. And one day, I went in there to take care of my business, and I'm done. I'm done. I'm ready to. I'm done. I'm flushing and I'm out the door. Sometimes though, I like to do a courtesy flush though in the process. So, as I'm courtesy flushing, I'm sitting there, and next thing you know, I get a cold tickle on my ball sack, realizing that the asshole whoever took a shit before me clogged that thing. So as I'm sitting there, I got poop water on my ball sack, and I had to get up real quick and look around like, what the hell is going on? And I had to call my buddy and be like, bro, I need you to do me a favor. Don't let anybody in this bathroom right now. I have a situation. I need to clean my balls off immediately, and nobody is allowed to come in here. You need to 100% block the door so no one can come in here and see what's about to happen. God's honest truth. That's where I had the ball water or the poop water on my ball sack, and it was terrible. It's one of the worst things that's ever happened in my life, no joke, because it was
now,
deceiving.
What happened when you stood up?
What do you mean when I stood up? I was ready to.
Did you I was going everywhere. Did you run?
No,
home
I was done.
No,
I was done, man. It was like
I
took a shower in the sink with my balls in the soap. That's what I had to do. I'm not having
Did you
poop
lock
water.
The door?
I told you. I called my buddy. I made him make
soap?
sure no one was allowed coming in. So no one was allowed coming in there. So that's me and his deep dark secret that I washed my balls in the sink at Micro Center's home office because some asshole clogged the toilet and didn't let anybody know it, and it looked just normal. There was no poop or toilet paper in there. It was like a normal looking toilet, but it was clogged. And I didn't know it.
Flip this around here for a second. So let's say that there was no clog. You go in there. You've been holding this shit in all day. You take this massive deuce.
Yeah.
You flush and you see, oh, buddy, it doesn't come out. It goes maybe halfway up and just sits there.
Mm-hmm.
You just walk away.
No.
You try and fix it.
I will go get maintenance and say, hey man, there's an issue in the hot box. Go take care of it.
I'm going to be honest here, bud. I think I would do the same thing that the gentleman, as I would say, before you did. I think I would just walk away and say, man, that sucks for whoever goes in there next.
You would do that. It's probably you. You son of a bitch.
I think I would.
It probably was you. After all this time, I finally found out who the culprit was. It was you.
Now, luckily, we did not work at the same areas. You stayed here, and I did what you're kind of doing now and traveled around. So that I can 100% guarantee was not me. Now, I might have done that in Texas. I might have done that in Virginia and Cleveland. I'm not going to say that, but I can't 100% say that I would be so kind to go find some maintenance guy and say, buddy, you're earning your money today. You got to clean up in aisle 4.
I can't believe you right now. You're breaking every etiquette rule possible when it comes to just a man relaxing and taking his shit, to where I got to worry about a clogged toilet because you wouldn't do the right thing.
I'm telling you the truth, brother.
I can't believe you would do that. I hope, you know what? I really hope. I hope that it happens to you one day. I really hope that you sit down on a toilet, not realizing it's clogged, and then you get your own poop water on your balls.
I am a firm believer in karma, and when stuff happens,
there you go.
Especially probably about in the last 3 or 4 years, I do try to correct it because I do believe in that. But at that point in time, I probably would have left.
Well, there you go, audience. That's the type of person that you are. You're also the guy who doesn't use turn signals. I've made a decision. I know you say you do, but I don't believe you.
I would have taken a Michigan in the toilet and just left it there.
Hey, man, you got to watch what I'm here. You have to. There's probably a gun on me right now. You got to be careful what you say.
Get out of there before you publish this episode.
Well, I got it. That's dumb of you. You know how that works. Anyways. So, summertime is right around the corner. We're starting to get some of the good weather coming in. The rain's mixing into it. But what is it that, when summertime starts rolling, the weather starts getting warm, the sun's out more and all that stuff, and you start thinking like barbecues and friends, what's that drink you want to go to? What's your go-to?
So I'm a big I don't do a lot of hard liquor. When I do hard liquor, nothing good ever seems to happen. I end up feeling terrible the next day. So I'm more of a beer guy. I can have a few beers every night, go to work the next day, be just fine.
Yep.
So I'm more on the beer side. So my go-to is, even though it's not really an IPA, as soon as it starts getting warmer out, I love having it's by Leinenkugel. It's called Summer Shandy.
Yeah, buddy.
And it's a beer that has kind of a little lemonade twist to it. And as soon as it gets warm out, it's not something I want every single time. I still love my BrewDog. I love my CBC. I love trying some new IPAs in there. But I do love throwing in and always having a 6 or 12 pack of that Summer Shandy sitting in there. So as soon as it gets warm out, I love getting that Summer Shandy and getting it in there. If I'm grilling, going to a buddy's house, sitting at a campfire, just sitting on the back porch, to me personally, there's nothing better than a cold Summer Shandy.
I didn't think you were going to say that, because that's what I'm saying. If I was going to pick one, I'll change it up. But in all honesty, like, number one, I'm picking a Summer Shandy. That's it. Like, that's my go-to for the summer drink. So just to be different, you threw me for a curveball, man. So I'm just gonna do. What else would I do? How about a Moscow Mule? A little vodka, a little ginger beer, a little lime. Let's do that. We'll do that. But still, a Summer Shandy would be my first one, and then Moscow Mule number 2. So, Summer Shandy, you heard it from both of us. We love your burrs. Send us some beer. We'll take pictures all summer long, drinking beer and grilling with Summer Shandy. So,
never go wrong. And if you really want to get crazy, I can't remember the exact brand that I use with it, but you take Summer Shandy, and it's a you could probably use about any, but it's like an apple cider kind of beer. You take a Summer Shandy, you take one of these, you mix them together. It makes a pretty good summer drink as well. Something a little bit different.
That is different. Okay. There you
I
go.
think I tried it at a Columbus Clippers game for the first time I ever had it. They had a Leinenkugel stand, and they had, it was just an option. And tried it. It was pretty good. One part Summer Shandy, one part apple cider beer. Mix the two together. Pretty good.
I'll try that. Sounds good.
Good summer drink.
Sounds good. Well, hey, we'll wrap up this thing with the end of it being the NFL draft. I know that you pay close attention to it, as did I, for different reasons. One, I wanted to see, who was number one, and then I wanted to see who the Packers did.
Manziel 2.0.
Isn't that crazy? Like, how
I feel terrible for Browns fans.
I hope he does well, and it's only
so
because
many different ways they could have gone. So many different quarterbacks could have gone. The stud running back, and they went Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I hope for Browns fans and for whoever made that decision to ultimately pull the trigger on this kid that it absolutely works out. Because if
I know.
He comes in, I don't think he'll be the starter. They got Tyrod Taylor in there, so he's going to come in as the odds-on favorite to start week one when the regular season starts. But whenever Mayfield gets that call, Cleveland's not a town where it takes long to put in the rookie and what he can do. When he gets in there, I hope to God for that guy's job and for all the Browns fans. I think the only ones that might have been happy about this pick was maybe Budweiser and Miller, who are going to sell a lot of beers as soon as he gets in there and starts running around and just getting demolished.
Yeah. I do hope, just for the fans, that he does pan out in some way to give him some chances to win the game. I mean, I think they did some...
Here's my question for you. I think we both agree that Baker Mayfield was not, in our opinion, not the correct pick. But if you were picking number one, who would you have taken at that spot?
Number one? I'm not too sure. Here's the thing: is if you've done your analysis on who you think is the top player, right, for you, you may have been to the point where you can trade down a little bit and still get that value and then get more in the end. But if you're doing evaluations on Baker and you're saying you're going to take him number one, you're going to take him. But if it was me, and I knew I needed a quarterback, I'm probably going to go with the safest pick. And the safest pick right now to me would be Sam Darnold. Just the safest pick. Maybe even I heard that Josh Allen just really wasn't that accurate. I don't know if you can coach accuracy, but I do know Sam Darnold can be coached on his footwork and things like that and holding on to the ball. So I think Darnold would be a good option. When they went and picked the 4th, I remember who they picked number 4. Who was it? Oh, it was
Ward.
Denzel Ward. Yeah, so they picked him. That threw me for a shock. I think I was more shocked at Denzel Ward than I was Baker because of getting him at 4. Because I thought they could probably, again, trade down and still get Denzel Ward later on in the draft. But they took the 2 best players they thought they needed to get their team better. And they still got a running back at the end. They got Nick Chubb. They got a running back. They got some more defense. They got some receivers. So, I mean, they addressed what they needed. Me and you really don't agree with the quarterback in regards to what that is, because I don't know if it's that one thing too. It's now he's the number 1 draft pick. It's a lot to stand up to. So not only are you going to a team that desperately needs a quarterback, now you're the number 1 pick in the draft. So now you got to live up to that hype too. And you could be what was the dude's name that they drafted, the Raiders, Jamarcus Russell? You could be a Jamarcus Russell, or you could be a Cam Newton, where you could finally shine and do something special. So, but I really do. I hope he does do something.
I think personally, if I was looking at this draft class, obviously they need a quarterback. Tyrod Taylor's going to go in there. He's going to compete, but he's not going to be your kind of long-term answer. Mm-hmm. But he can give you probably a couple solid good years, and maybe he will turn into a stud there in Cleveland. Maybe he just needs that shot and the right weapons around him. Mm-hmm. They've definitely upgraded their wide receiver core this year.
Sure did.
But personally, if I was Cleveland, I think no doubt 100%, if I'm looking at that number 1 pick, I would have taken Saquon Barkley. I think that kid is an absolute stud. I think anymore it's kind of hard to find that stud running back, an Adrian Peterson, something like that. 100% I would have taken him. And I honestly think if they really were that high on Baker Mayfield, nobody else in the top 10, I think, would have drafted him. They could have taken Saquon at 1. Josh Allen would have gone up there. That other quarterback would have gone high. Baker would have been probably Darnold. He probably would have been the 3rd. Maybe even 4th. Lamar Jackson might have gone before him. I don't know how they had them rated, but they could have easily gotten Saquon at 1, either kept the 4th pick and gotten Barkley, or not Barkley, but Baker Mayfield, or they could have traded that down a little bit and still got him at 10, 11, 12, somewhere down there, and gotten an extra pick. So personally, I would have taken Saquon first, traded down, or if they were really that scared, taking Baker at 4, and at least then you're not putting that number 1 draft pick on Baker Mayfield's shoulders. And whenever it is that point where they turn the reins over to him and say, "Here you go, kid. It's your shot. You're the number 1 pick. Lead us to a championship." It's not as big a load to carry if you're not the number 1 pick. Saquon could have carried that burden.
Let's say he's going to be something. Let's just say that. Let's say he's above average, right? Let's say he does step in. He's above average. Now you have a competent quarterback. You have Carlos Hyde as a running back. You have Duke Johnson as a running back. You drafted Nick Chubb, who dropped, in my opinion, or wasn't drafted as high. And then you have Jarvis Landry. You got Corey Coleman. You got Josh Gordon, and you got your tight end. That's pretty strong. You drafted some offensive line people and picked some people up in free agency. What's that offense look like now?
Hell of a lot better than it was.
Yeah. I think it's a much stronger. There's more weapons there. You have to account for Baker in multiple ways too. Same with Tyrod. Even though he wasn't a crazy runner, but he's got the athletic ability to run. So now you even have Tyrod Taylor, you have Baker Mayfield, you have these people in there that I think they've addressed the things they needed to. And I know it's taken them some time, but I mean John Dorsey being there has helped. They got some good defensive coaches and some good offensive coaches. Todd Haley's in there. They got some pieces. So for you Browns fans, I don't see you losing every single game this year. Again, I think you might pull off the 4 or 5 wins this year and build off of that. So I think you did good. I'm not too sure, like you said, it would have done the Baker Mayfield thing, but we hope it works out for you. But our Packers, I thought, man, I couldn't have been more happy with the first 2 picks. I don't know about you.
That was the exact position that we needed to upgrade. When you look at the Packers, it's one of those where if you can just get some sort of defense to back up our offense, it's almost scary to be how good the Packers could be next year. When Rodgers has to go out and put up 45 points every week just to have a chance of winning the game, it starts to get a little ridiculous. And our cornerbacks was our biggest weakness. We were getting beat so many times that it wasn't even funny. It almost got to the point where it was just forget running the ball, just throw it on us and you're going to start scoring. Look, every time we played Atlanta, how many yards their receivers have. So that was 100% absolutely our first pick. You had to go there. Jair Alexander was there. They really had no choice but to pick him. But I loved kind of doubling down. And when we had our next pick, Josh Jackson was still sitting there.
I can't believe he was sitting there.
They could have gone with getting a receiver to replace Jordy Nelson or a linebacker or something else. I kind of like the fact of doubling down, pick Josh Jackson. At worst, you're kind of hoping that at least one of them will stick, and kind of we need a number one quarterback. But I kind of agree with you. I think this could be our new tandem back there. If we could get some people that can actually stick with these receivers, Packers can be a good team. We've got the offense. Receivers isn't as big a thing. Rodgers has proven that he can take a subpar receiver and make them into a Pro Bowler.
We drafted some good receivers, though.
As good as Jordy Nelson was, Rodgers made him look like a stud, and you saw what happened to him as soon as our backup come in.
Yeah.
So our first 2 picks were the big ones, and I 100% agreed with them, and I love those picks.
Yeah, I agree, and they addressed every need that they had. Their special teams was pretty shitty, to be honest. They got a good. I know it's crazy that you pick them, right? But you get a punter.
Yeah, it's probably. I think we're the first team to draft a punter this year.
Yeah, it was different.
He holds that in there. I think we got 3. Looks like 3 wide receivers, and I actually kind of like the third one we got the most. And I don't even know exactly how to say his first name, but Quaimius St. Brown out of Notre Dame. I think out of the 3, may end up being the stud of the 3. But as a Packers fan, I absolutely love that draft. I think we addressed what we needed to address, and now it's just time for them to come in and compete and hopefully get better.
Agreed. I think they did good, and I think their back end's going to look good. They got Kevin King, who got hopefully his rookie jitters out of himself last year, and he can come in there. We brought back Traymon Williams, so you got a veteran leadership, and then you got some new safeties back there. Well, you got HaHa. I mean, you think about it. You got HaHa, you got Jones in the back now, and then you got these 4 DBs, man, and then you draft that linebacker out of Vanderbilt. You get some more edge rushers on there. We picked up Sheldon Richardson from free agency. So, I mean, we have... I don't know, man. I'm trying not to get too ahead of the game here, but I was very happy with what they did. It's nice
to see our brass knows exactly what we needed to improve, and they're at least trying. I think that's the biggest thing as a fan is, not every move and every transaction or draft pick's going to work out, but the biggest thing as a fan is you at least want to see your team trying to make your team better. And I think that's what they've done this offseason. It'll be interesting to see what our defense is come next year. And another, going back to the draft and kind of a different team, I hate the Seahawks. I have absolutely no love for them. I love to see them lose every single week, especially when we play them. But it was kind of cool to see Shaquem Griffin get drafted by them to be able to go play with I don't know. I can't remember if it's his brother or twin brother, but
Twin brother.
getting to be able to go play with his brother over there in Seattle. Hell of a player. If he had both of his hands, he would have been in the top 10. And he's kind of proven one of those things where don't let anybody tell you what you can't do. He's proving all them wrong, saying, I'm sure you heard a million times, dude, you've only got one hand. There's no way you're ever going to make this profession. Homeboy just got drafted. So that was kind of a cool thing. Like I said, I hate Seattle, but that was a cool move by them. I think they got a hell of a player, so it'll be interesting to see what he does at the next level. But kind of one of those feel-good stories, along with Ryan Shazier getting to walk out and make a pick for Pittsburgh, another team that I 100% hate. Hate everything Pittsburgh, every team that they've ever made in that city. But that was another kind of feel-good moment when Shazier got to walk out and make a pick for their team. And I'll give kudos where it's due. That was a cool move. And then I saw today, I think Shazier was owed $8.5 or $8.7 million, something like that. And I'm sure it was to help with all his massive medical bills that he's been accruing. They changed his remaining salary into a signing bonus. So that $8 million, he basically got a check for $8 million. So that was also another kind of, I hate the team, but I respect the move, and that was a good gesture by the Pittsburgh Steelers to get him that money, which I'm sure he's needing right now to get back on the field, which I don't know ever happened, but just get back to normal life, be able to walk around with having someone help you or a walker.
Right.
Cool move by the Steelers.
Hey, real quick.
Credit's due.
So you know what we've been forgetting, or what just happened? Well, I don't know if it just happened. But remember when we talked about that episode, we talked about the AAF, the new football league that we were talking about. Remember that? So they've announced 2 cities.
They have.
You know that? Huh?
This is news to me.
Atlanta and Orlando are the first 2 cities. The head coach for Orlando, Steve Spurrier. You talked about that before too. But Steve Spurrier is going to be the coach of the Orlando team, and then Brad Childress, who coached the Minnesota Vikings for a while, and multiple other NFL teams, is going to be the head coach for Atlanta.
So I remember when we talked about it, we remember saying that league kind of automatically had. It sounded better than this Vince McMahon league, and that goes straight into it, where you're getting coaches that know exactly what they're doing. And Steve Spurrier, Brad Childress has been, who was he with the Vikings? I don't know if he coached any other teams head coach wise. I'm sure he did, coordinator or different positions, but that's just adding fuel to the fire, where that might turn into an actual kind of minor league system where you can get people in there and see what they can do, and then bring them on up to the NFL.
Do you want to hear how tickets are going to be instantly good? So guess who the offensive coordinator is for the Atlanta team? It's called the Atlanta Alliance, by the way. Is that name? Offensive coordinator for Atlanta Alliance is none other than Michael Vick. So I mean, they're doing it right, though, don't you think?
They're bringing in people that know exactly what they're doing, have the experience, and if you're a quarterback, who else would you want coaching you up and giving you tips, and someone who's been in the league and knows what they're doing?
Obviously, I don't condone his off the field antics, but for what he did for the NFL, I mean,
but who better than someone that was when he was at his prime, he was a stud of the NFL. Man. To go 100%. From a stud to in prison to being able to keep himself in shape while he was in prison, and then when he comes out, go back to the league, not just fade into the darkness and rest on, well, I had a good run there in Atlanta.
Yep.
He can give you a couple different perspectives, what it's like to go straight in and compete, and what it's also like to take another route and be out of the league for a few years and get your ass back in there.
Yep.
So instant credibility with all those people.
Yeah, and at least now, like when these guys, I mean, because we know that everyone's not going to make the NFL cut, right? There's not going to. There's not that many people, so it'd be kind of cool to see who could end up that way. Maybe JT Barrett ends up as the quarterback of the Atlanta Alliance, you know?
He's got his tryout there in New Orleans, so I'll be interested to see if he can make the team. If he doesn't, then at least now he has a few other options as opposed to just going to the Canadian Football League, whether it's this XFL or AAF. He's got a couple different routes to whatever he thinks personally is going to be the best route for him. It's nothing but good for a kid coming out of college. If it doesn't work out the first go around, don't just give up on your dream. Go hone your craft somewhere where you might be facing a little bit higher level of competition than college, and see what happens.
Agreed, man. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought that was kind of neat. But you got anything else, buddy?
But I think that's all we got for this episode.
I think so too. So one little shout out too is that we are trying to get on Spotify. We were invited to do that, so we've submitted for Spotify. So I'll keep everyone in the loop through Instagram or Twitter, let you know when you can find us there. It's just a longer process. Obviously, everybody and their brother is trying to get on Spotify, so you can still find us on iTunes. You can go to Spreaker. You can go to iHeartRadio. I mean, all over the place still. You know, we're there. We're making waves. We're trying to get up and going. And we still need some help on the challenge. On narrowing it down. I don't know if anybody else had some ideas. I didn't get anybody else shooting me ideas. So we'll find out. We'll have that sooner than later. We'll do a YouTube live. You want to do it live? Let's do it live. We'll do it live.
I don't want to do it at all, let alone live. But
Let's do it live.
I think we can probably do it live.
Okay, we'll do it live. We'll try that way. And yes, if you got any ideas for what we can do for the challenge, we've come up with some pretty stupid ideas. By stupid, I mean painful and just not smart at all. So yeah, they are really stupid. But if you have any ideas, make sure you shoot us those ideas. You can get it just to info@realdadbrotalk.com, or you could go to all the social media outlets and find us. And yeah, man. Oh, we got those new tank tops for the girls on our brodadshop.com. So if you want some clothes, you want some merch, go check it out. Let's see. We need some people to go to Brodad Shop and get some shit, man. Honestly, but. Anyways, man, next week we'll be coming at you again, so, thanks for all the support, thanks for listening, and we will talk to you soon, and, here we go. Thanks next week.
Join us next week for another epic episode of RDBT. Keep track of what we're doing on all social media at Real Dad Bro Talk. Till next time.
Listening to my old songs back when I would talk about things that hadn't happened yet, but now I get to talk about. Just got back from South Beach, Collins Ave Shore Club. Always celebrating what I want to see more of. Took my mom with me, let her soak up all the sunshine.